So anyway, I'll tell you a little something that happened back in 2010. In 2010, I was in Palm Springs, California. Anyway, I was going to go to Seattle, but a woman, I believe she was a witch, which makes it very reliable, said I should go to, well, she thought I was going to go to Washington, D.C., misunderstanding there. Well, actually not. Anyway, but I ended up going to Ohio because a bus driver recommended it because of things. So I went to Ohio to clear up a case, trespassing, which I never went to court on that. Anyway, then I got done with the case, got on probation, and then got a little room. And then, so I figured this is the way that the CIA could give me like a vacation, which they did allow me 6 months to kind of cool my jets. I kept drinking though, but still that was expected. I think that's required. But at some point, they started sending me signals that they really needed me back on the job. So, anyway. And the reason is because I have some weird ability. I looked it up. It's called anomalous cognition. Right, anomalous cognition. Well, basically, I have what they call an AC sensory system. And anyway, now you notice that just think of the letter AC. Anomalous cognition. Now think of other things. Think of other things you might want to think about or not want to think about. Think about Antichrist, AC. So anyway, when I was in Ohio, they urged me. I mean, I just couldn't believe my ears. I swear to God, I couldn't believe my ears. I mean, they were beating the fucking drums for me to go. First, they wanted me to go to fucking Baltimore. Actually, they wanted me to go to Fort Detrick first. Actually, Fredericksburg, Maryland. And then, but I went to Boston. Back to Boston. Went through New York City to Baltimore. Then down to D.C. But anyway, so I went back on the job. And I've been working ever since. So I had 6 months of vacation. But in October of 2010, I was back on the job. So from, April, May, June, July, August. Well, from about April of 2010 until about the end of September 2010, I pretty much, I kind of had my own place to live and kind of had it fairly easy. Except drinking was hard on my body, but still, they had to kind of expect me to do that because that's like a defense mechanism for me. But anyway, but they really got really insistent that I come back to work for them. It's like I was like a really valuable resource that they couldn't not have. They had to have me. Anyway, so John was like me. What are we? We're members of what they call the Blue Wolf Tribe, or sometimes we're called Time Lords. We're aliens from the future, so to speak. And so anyway, but anyway, he works for the CIA too. He recently got hired. He's got a better position than I do. I'm an operations officer, and he's a case officer. And I'm a GS 10 third step, and he's a GS 11 first step. But I don't see any of the money because since I'm a knock, that is someone who has no official cover, they can't really pay me right now anyway. supposedly I'll get the money eventually by some mysterious means. But right now, you know, I'm under constant surveillance, 24/7. You know, I have people dragging around mobile devices that basically try to penetrate my data systems, find out what I'm doing, what I'm looking at. Motherfuckers try to read my mind. Actually, they can read your mind. They read my mind particularly easily because I broadcast so strongly. But anyway, so I don't know. But you know, in effect, I mean, what is the Antichrist? Is it not just a person with a particular set of variables in their makeup? I mean, really, that's what I got. I'm invariable. Anyway, I can kind of pull things out of the air. I have access to the what they call the Akashic field. I think it's called the Akashic field. The field, the library, the archive, as I call it. Anyway, so I don't know. It works for me most of the time. Sometimes I have to be really painfully twisted and tormented, but except for that, I'm usually all right. So you know, I get tormented and twisted and messed up. In fact, it seems like the only time I can actually work is when I'm in great and severe pain or something. I don't know why. Somebody says it's because I have a God complex, which means they say I'm God. Because being God, I have to be careful, because if I think the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, then, you know, 10,000 worlds disappear, or 10,000 years elapses between, you know, one instant and another. All kinds of weird shit happens, so I have to be careful. I don't know. Now I have my supporters. I have the people I work with. Evidently, currently the person I'm working with as the director of Central Intelligence is Michael Morrill. Temporarily the DCI. For him was General Petraeus, General David Petraeus. He was a nice guy. Anyway. Now there's this guy named Ollie North. Remember him? Ollie North worked for Ronald Reagan. Famously, Ollie North said at one point, I don't know when, where, he said, the president loves my ass. I don't think you can take that literally, but I think he just really liked Ollie, because he was so good at his job. He had a Silver Star for bravery. Anyway, he was on some kind of covert mission in Vietnam, and couldn't even write it up in unclassified form. But he got a Silver Star. That's for gallantry. That's pretty cool, huh? I never got I got the National Defense Service Medal when I was in the Army. See, the thing is, I have other lives. It's like I've lived in different places in different ways and been different types of creatures. And, I can't really rely on my memory of what I am now as an exclusive club. It's not an exclusive club. But anyway. But I just want to let you know that this anomalous cognition, it's not an accident that it's AC, anomalous cognition, because that jives, that syncs, that synchronizes, that has such sympathy with the Antichrist, AC, the Antichrist, A is in anti, C is in Christ, that you can't deny that it has to be as it is. So anyway, I don't know. I do really good work. Like today, I was trying to monitor the chatter from the terrorists called the unknowns. Used to call them the Al-Qaeda and other affiliates, but now they've been morphed into something else. Oh, I just got a message. Anyway, I gotta go. Today is January 20th, 2013. President Obama was sworn in for a second term today at 11:55 Eastern Standard Time in the morning. And tomorrow is the celebration of the MLK Day, and of course they have the inaugural parade in Washington and all the festivities. You have to be careful because, you know, these motherfuckers are always trying to do shit and hurt people. I'm trying to stop them. That's why I can get stuff. You know, my people, and of course John, I have to include John. And of course the Vulcans. Who are the Vulcans? There really are Vulcans. What it is, the Jews, after millions of years, evolved into a race, and they had moved to a planet system called Vulcan, which means fire, because the Jews had been tested in the fire of the Holocaust. Now they could have evolved to become like us, like the Time Lords, but they chose not to. They chose to remain mortal, that is to say, they can only live for a certain length of time, even though that amounts to thousands of years. And they still help us. In fact, without the aid of the Vulcans, aka the Jews, well, you know, we'd be hard-pressed to do what we can do about saving the timeline. The thing is, Time Lords, that's their job, is to try to watch the timeline, to make sure time is not skewed in some way. That's what I'm not going to name names, but somebody with the letter J, you know what I'm talking about. He has been instrumental in putting a lot of shit out there. He's tried to redeem himself, and he's kind of working on our side, it seems. But anyway, the Dairy Queens, as they call them, I can call them other things, but the unknowns, they're trying to twist time to make it so that, well, things are bad. I mean, really, really bad. I'm constantly under surveillance. Anyway, I have 7 iPhones. I have 3 iPhone 5s, 3 iPhone 5s, 3 iPhone 4S's, and 1 iPhone 4. Mostly because the CIA told me I had to get these things because they're necessary for my job. And they say I should always maintain a computer at some point for some reason. And but the technology itself is not that important. Technology in itself is not going to save the day. What's going to save the day is, I guess, anomalous cognition. The Antichrist will save the day. Seriously. Well, anyway. You say, ain't the Antichrist the devil? Yeah, I'm the devil. I'm the devil. I'm Satan. In fact, Satan has a whole organization on this plane of existence. Yeah, we had some really sweet chicks, man. Like foxy motherfucking chicks. Oh, god damn. It's like, you sound nasty. I am nasty. Seriously nasty. I'm getting horny. I gotta stop this. Oh, I'm not even a man. I mean, seriously. I'm no man. You know, I gotta go. I gotta go scratch something. I see. My most valuable supporters, besides the Vulcans, are witches, dogs, birds, and children. And not necessarily in that order. And of course, the lost souls. Anyway, I gotta fly. It's about 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.